Hey guys, so in today's episode we are going to talk about how to create something like this, something that's like a real true first person camera with some autofocus ability available in the camera. So if you're looking at a wall, the everything behind it will be out of focus. If you are looking at something in the distance, everything near to you will be out of focus, which looks gorgeous in my opinion. So if you come here, if there's a wall in front of you, you can't really see what's behind it because it's out of focus. Just the way a normal camera works, or if you might say a body cam. Um, let's get started. So the first thing that I have to tell you is that you need to be able to do this, you need to be using the third person character if you're using the default starter content that are available to use. If you want to create something of your own, make sure that you have a full character. This tutorial is based on third person character. So let's go ahead in our third person character. Um, this is this isn't the setup that you will be having when you first open the first person character. The setup that we'll be having will be a camera, a normal camera, a spring arm component, and those are just somewhere around here. What I want you to do is to go ahead and delete that spring arm, that's spring arm component, and then delete the camera as well, and go ahead and type in cinema camera. This is what we'll be using, because in the normal camera, I mean, it has some depth of field options, but the only instance that I've seen it work was in mobile. So if we are using depth of field, if we are using the real life focusing and being out of focus simulation in our game, we are going to be using cinema camera. So let's go ahead and create one of that, add that to your scene, and make sure it's attached to the mesh. Just drag it under the mesh. If I do it again, it will get detached. If I do it again, it will get attached. The position will get messed up. Make sure you fix the position as well. And then go ahead in the parent socket, type in head. Or if this is something that you have already created to, or you wanted to, for example, get connected to the spine, make sure that you have spine in here. Make sure that you are connecting it to the correct socket. So let's go ahead and you have the option here to turn on real time or turn off real time. I usually turn it off when I want to move something because it's easier. So let's fix the position. I don't want the character to be in my way. I guess this is not bad. Okay, so you don't want the constraint aspect ratio, because if you do, I mean, you might want it like this. You might want the black tapes in the screen. I don't want that. This is just a game, so I'll just get rid of this one, and make sure you are using pawn control rotation. If you aren't using that, you can't control the camera up and down. You can just turn right or turn left, which isn't what we need. So make sure this is turned on. If you're working in VR, this is useful, but right now we don't really care about it. And then after that, we are in the cinema camera, and then in the current camera settings, I am using a 16:9 digital film. Current focal length is 10. It's default to 35. I'm using 10. Current aperture is 1.2. This is the depth of field that you will get. So the lower value, the more depth of field you'll get. In my case, with these settings, this is the lowest value I could get. In some other, for example, yeah, in some other lenses and different film backs, you could change this one, but yeah, let's do a custom. Okay, and 10. No crop it is, and then go into the third person character and go look for, come down here, yeah. So in the pawn, you need to make sure that use controller rotation paw is enabled. Otherwise, it won't rotate the character itself. So it will look like this. You don't want that. You want the character. I mean, if you are doing this character rotation in your animation, then fine. You can turn this one off. But if you aren't, and if you are only relying on this camera, then this one should be on. So if you are rotating, the character is rotating as well. Okay, I guess we are good in this. There's no other option that you need to. Yeah, okay. Rotation. Okay, so if you don't really need this one, if you use this one as well, it will mess up the whole thing as well. In our cases it doesn't, but make sure this one's turned off as well. Okay, so the next thing that I've added to the camera to make it look more real is the shake. So in default, when you are attaching the camera to the mesh, you'll get some, when you are making sure that the parent socket is attached to the head, you will get some camera shake if you try to pay close attention to it, but it's not enough. I want more. I want something that won't make people nauseous, and something that shakes a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is to add a camera shake. To do so, you can just go to your starter content, right click, blueprint class, and type in here, if this is not expanded, just go ahead and expand it out, and then type in shake. You can add a camera shake base. That's what just works. So add a camera shake base, select, and then rename it something else. I've already created mine. I've named it BP underline shake. There's something weird about this. The first time that you open the blueprint, it will open the full blueprint editor for you. Just close it and then reopen the blueprint and you'll get this screen. We are using the Perlin noise camera shake pattern. So you go ahead and choose that one. The Perlin noise is just a really beautiful random noise that we are using. And everything's set to 1 pretty much. More than that, I mean, even 2 will make me feel really sick. The duration, I want it to be infinite, so the duration is 0. 0 means infinite. If you wanted to, for example, shake the camera for like 10 seconds, you can go ahead and do so, but in our case, we wanted to shake all the time. We wanted to simulate something that's based on real life. So real life cameras in real life shake all the time. I mean, not the new high technology phone cameras. The ones that are so-called body cams will shake all the time. So we want that shake. And you go ahead and you're this is like the event begin play. I am just come through here. This was something that's needed. So without it, this won't work. I don't know why. Just make sure you add a little bit of delay. You don't really need to change the duration. And then get player camera manager. This one right here. And out of that, start camera shake. This is what we're using. And choose the class that we've just already created. BP unreal shake, this is mine. Scale is 1, that's fine. Camera local is fine. We don't want it to be seen by other people if the game is a multiplayer game. And let's go ahead and see how it works. Okay, it's shaking a little bit. You can go ahead and add more shake when the player is running. I don't want that because it makes me feel really sick. But some people prefer the camera to shake more. There's a fine line that you have to find yourself. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it. I mean, it makes the game look more beautiful. But please don't overdo it. It will make people really, really sick. And then the next thing we're gonna do is to create this piece that's related to the autofocus in the cinema camera. This is the main reason we've added cinema camera is to use this autofocus feature. So we are going to use a timer by event. Timer by event. This one right here. Make sure it's looping, and it will loop every second. It's not that much. It's not like an event tick. You can do it based on event tick. I wouldn't recommend it though. It will be really heavy. Event tick's not useful all the time. It's not such a good thing performance wise. And then the event will go custom event, name it something. I've named it camera focus, and then after that we are going to do a line trace by channel, this one right here. The channel's visibility, of course, the actors to ignore nothing. We don't want to ignore anything. This is just to debug it. So for the start and end, we will use the camera location, because when we are looking around, we are actually changing the camera's rotation, right? So we want the camera's position, rotation, and everything to be in this calculation. So just drag it in here, get world location, and then this will be the starting point, of course. And then get forward vector that's one right here. Get forward vector, and then multiply it by something. Multiply. For me, in my case, I am multiplying it by 2000, and then you will have to add these two together. So add these two together, and then this will be the ending point. I've checked trace complex as well. Don't need to, but anyway. So if we look at the debug, this is the debug we are seeing. This red one in the screen. You can see it. Okay. At least we know that it works. Then we will have to break the hit results, and then hit this one. Then we have to do a branch from this one, because without it, since it is just trying to check all the distances up to 2000, it will not be able to check anything more than that. So if you're looking, for example, through this tunnel, it won't hit anything, right? So you will have to make sure that if it's not hitting anything, it doesn't change the focus, or it just resets the focus. So this is what I'm doing. So this is the branch we're using. Make sure you drag the cinema camera in and then set focus settings. And right click split struct pin and you will get all the settings you need. Okay. You don't need to touch most of the things. The focus settings is, the method is manual. You don't need to track anything. You can though, but in our case, since we are getting the distance from the hit result, we don't need to do anything else. So if it doesn't hit anything, so here it will just focus on this default distance. This is just the default value it has. If it does hit something, then we have the distance. We will just drag this and connect this one to the focus settings, manual focus distance, and that's pretty much it. You want to smooth it out as well. This is the default value, so you want to smooth it out. The 8 is fine, and this is what you will get. So it's focusing on here and focuses in and out. Wherever you look at, it focuses there. And the character's main body is out of focus, which is nice. Okay, this was it. I hope it was helpful. If it did help you, please hit that like button. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, you have any idea or question, please make sure you tell them to me in the comment section. I'll make sure to answer them as fast as possible. Cheers.